How is growing up and processing childhood different today than it was a couple of decades ago, for example? And I want to give you a different perspective. There's a lot more activities and content and just bombardment onto our children today that is designed for adults. Therefore, there's a little bit of a disconnect and there's a little bit of misalignment between kids and parents, making it so hard to avoid certain traps. On today's episode, we're going to dive into the traps and perhaps give you some insight on how to be more vigilant on your kids and how to avoid some of those traps, because they take you down a very, very dark rabbit hole. Next to me, as always, I've got Anna Marie Meyer, who is a phenomenal mother, raised two beautiful kids, and she's going to give you some nice insight. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope we leave you better than we found you. Let's get into the content. First challenge that families face is a very tough one, and it's a difficult one to speak about, but it's very necessary, and that's abuse.
Especially emotional abuse.
Yes.
We think
that's sometimes worse.
It's worse. It's when our kids leave for school, you're not too sure. And today's life, you won't find your child coming back with a blue eye suddenly, but the emotional abuse you can't see.
Yeah.
And you've got to be very vigilant for those signs when they get quiet, when they start locking. Teenagers do lock themselves up in their room, but if they start doing that at the age of 6, 7, 8, then there's something wrong.
There's an issue, yes.
When they get into the car after school and they're quiet. So emotional abuse is a very dangerous thing, and if you don't look out for the signs and it's too late, sometimes it's a struggle to get out of it.
Definitely. Number 2 is addiction. Now, addiction from the parent side is potentially just as bad, if not worse, than from the children's side, because parents being addicted leads to a poverty mindset, it leads to a broken home, but a child being addicted and the parents don't pick it up in time will also lead to a broken mindset where that will to win and persevere goes away, it's numb. You've got an escape.
Absolute broken family afterwards.
Absolutely, absolutely. Third, communication issues.
Gee.
How important is communication?
It's very important, and we don't live in a life where we all at home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and we spend a whole afternoon still sunshine with our kids. Parents come home late.
Yeah.
They work hard to put food on the table, and kids are left alone. So by the time now you've got load shedding, you need to rush for cooking or whatever chores you need, and by that time it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So communication between husband and wife, parents and kids is absolutely broken nowadays.
Yeah.
And that is something we actually need to sit down and say,
make time.
From now on, yes, definitely. From now on, we will spend from 6:30 to 7 without a TV, and we will discuss just the day. It's just a debriefing for a family.
Yes.
That can mean $1 million to a
Yes.
family by doing that.
And I think the person that needs to initiate that is the parent, because you set the rules. Now, I don't want to sound like you live under my roof, but here's a SOP, because we're busy with SOPs at work, a standard operating procedure. At 6:30, you will not have your phone, whatever time it is, or have the TV on for 30 minutes. Like it or don't like it, Instagram can wait.
It's a quality half an hour
Yes.
session. That's all it is.
Yes.
You don't need to take, because kids get used to the fact that they're alone.
Yes.
So when you get home,
Their
they're
friend
fine
becomes the
being.
phone.
So they're just going to pop on their bed with the phone in their hand, and you're going to leave it. Teenagers do that. But if you've got a set rule, 6:30 to 7 or whatever time you choose, but that is family time, and in that half an hour we're going to run a debriefing. How was your day? How was your day? Quickly have a cup of coffee, a cool drink together. That half an hour is going to save you tears.
Absolutely. Then number 4, divorce. So I want to read some stats. Researchers estimate that 41% of all first marriages end in divorce. 41%. 60% of second marriages end in divorce. Okay. Kids witness this. So
60%
of the second, yes. So get married, 41% chance of getting divorced. If you ever remarry, the divorce rate increases to 60%.
And
your
that
second time
kids
around.
get exposed to that.
100%. And here's the worst of all. The average age for couples that are going through a divorce is 30. So 30,
It's young.
you know, if you
young
sequence your
kids.
life properly, at 30 years old, your child is probably 8, 9, 7, 10, around about there. That is the time when they are most easily influenced and when normality is generated. So, you know, mom and dad fighting, getting divorced is normal. That child grows up into that mindset unless you pay very close attention to it. Parenting. You have to parent. It's a job.
You've got to sometimes put your foot down.
Yes.
And I think years ago, when I grew up, there was rules, strict rules, and you just lived by it. And I grew up in a very, very happy household. And nowadays, of course, we're not home that often, first of all. There's no communication. You tend to let go a lot more. I think it's just where you need to really put your foot down, and there's certain baselines that's a non-negotiable. That is the one thing that's going to put you on track, and you will start noticing if there's something wrong. And I don't say it's going to be that harsh, but if there's firm rules, they know what's it. It's non-negotiable. I think you're going to just have a better feeling inside the household.
Yeah. And kind is not always weak. Kind is very strong. But you have to, a friend of mine taught me this a while ago. He said to me, don't play the play, but play the ball, but play the ball hard. So be hard on the rule and kind on the person. But if a rule is broken, there needs to be an effect afterwards.
No, definitely.
The next one is very tough. It's pornography. So I heard this somewhere the other day. A 15-year-old boy with a cell phone can in 5 minutes see more naked women than the richest king that ruled the biggest kingdom saw in his lifetime. So, you know, the engaging of sexual activity at a younger age is up due to that fact. So you have to be so protective over what your kids view with parameters. But I think the underlying issue is if you block it on your son or daughter's phone, the chances are at school they're going to... So the values and principles that you build in that child, what's right and what's wrong, to make that conscious decision to either look, engage in the video, open the video, watch it through, or decide this is not for me, this doesn't align with my values and principles, delete the video or choose to walk away. Technical, but very necessary.
It's very difficult, and I agree. But yes, I agree. The fact that if you've got honesty from your child and the fact that they've got values and principles and they can say, this is not for me. Thank you very much. And obviously, because once they've started, they can't go back.
Yes.
But if it happens and they can quickly snap out of it to realize this is not, be honest, then you can treat it. But you can't treat if you're not aware of it.
Absolutely.
So don't leave.
Self-identity struggles.
Yes, I think kids nowadays struggle with that. Because in schools...
It's very rough at the moment, yeah.
In schools now, we weren't allowed half of the stuff that kids are allowed today, first of all.
We weren't even allowed to have our hair longer than a certain... Yes, that cricket bat was swung
and
at
you
your
grew
bum.
up like that,
Ooh.
and we're all fine.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with us. So now
my skin's
suddenly...
a bit thicker on my bum than normal.
Now they've suddenly got these rules, but I've got to say, and then they end up getting home, and suddenly you see the self-esteem is down,
Yes.
because of bullying, because of what the kids are allowed, because of what they're exposed to, and I'm not exposed to it. So it's a very difficult thing. And for me, the best is if you communicate and speak to your child often, and especially about the topic, you need to. How are you? Are you fine? Did you grow? Can you feel that you've grown? Talk about when they were younger, so that you can see if they can notice their own growth, and then I think boost them on how proud you feel about them and the fact that they've actually got to accomplish something. Because sometimes they just need that bit of a boost from you as a parent.
100%. And then lastly, the unisex bathrooms. So I've got a very strong opinion on it, and I'm not afraid to raise my opinion. And for me, personally, it's wrong. So, you know, people identify as, okay, a boy and a girl, in my opinion, voicing my opinion, should not be using the same bathroom. Not. There's a men's bathroom and there's a women's bathroom. Now, as a mother or a father, if you've got a young child and you raise two boys, the one is nearly 2 meters, he's a big man already. But when you need to take him to the bathroom at a very young age, he comes with you to the women's bathroom. There's women in there. They understand you've got a child with you. Vice versa. Man,
And most places have family bathrooms.
there we go. But unisex bathrooms, 15-year-old boys and girls, unattended, wrong against my values and principles and belief systems to my core. I don't agree, and that's my opinion. How do you feel about it?
I would have never had a problem with it until you've stated like that. For me, going into a bathroom with my 8-year-old son, cause you know you can't just allow him at any place going. Even on 8, they're grown up, but they're not grown up as much. And now they're staying away. And you stressed as a parent outside. So I'm in the shops on my own with my child. Husband not with me. So who's going to go with him? Now I can't take an 8-year-old into a lady's bathroom. So I need to wait and allow him to go in. Now it's taking longer. You get nervous.
Yes.
I've been standing in front of bathrooms getting so nervous. So that at a certain point in my life, I would welcome something like that it's open to everyone, because I can go and I can watch him. But when they get to the age of 15 and 16 and they need to go to the movies with friends, I agree. So yes, for a certain limit, and that's why I mentioned, then in that case I would rather then accept family bathrooms,
Yes,
where a mother can go in with the child.
yes,
But sending a 15-year-old with a girlfriend into a bathroom, you don't know what's happening there.
you know,
Yeah,
but you don't.
but you don't.
Good. I hope you
So-
guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave us a comment, as well as
Ring the bell, subscribe to our channel.
thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.